Hello from wherever you are, and welcome to Let's Play Games. I'm John McFarland, Adult Services Librarian for National Public Libraries, and I hope you'll join me in learning or rediscovering some of the more common and uncommon games out there. This time, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We've talked about individual card games over time. We've covered solitaire, we've covered spades, we've covered eights, we've covered canasta. Those are all individual games from the same deck. We've even covered different styles of decks on this series. This time, I'm going to do a couple of different games for you, all based around the six-sided die. This is one of the oldest pieces of gaming equipment we have. More on that in a moment. But I want to take you through the different styles of games you can have just with a couple of these dice. Let's get stuck in. So, first off, I want to talk about the die themselves, and then I'm going to talk about the different types of games you can play with them. We're going to go over 7 different types of games over these next 2 episodes. But we're going to start pretty simple. Now, I've got 2 cups here. Usually you can get one at a store that usually comes with 1, but I wanted 2. And usually they come with like a little felt inside, which is nice. I had one of my coworkers, thanks to my coworker Sam, who got this one ready for me. But both of these have 5 die in them. So if you're not as familiar with them, I would hope to roll that astoundingly lucky in a single roll. However, here we are. So this is a 6-sided, and I'll take an extra one out here. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. I've already got 5 there. 4, 5, and 6. This is a 6-sided die, or what we'd also refer to as a D6. Now here's an important part. These are directly opposing each other within the development of the die. So each of these is going to equal 7. So for example, let's flip this. Notice how you have backwards the same thing. So 1 is opposite the 6, 2 is opposite the 5, 3 is opposite the 4. This means that it's a relatively even probability, 1 out of 6. We're going to talk a lot about probability, but 1 out of 6 is the easiest way for us to start talking about things for the moment. But let's see, go ahead and plop these back in. I had them switched earlier, so let's make sure they're done correctly. There's always one that tries to hide away no matter what. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 players, each with 5 die. And we're going to play first what's called a category game. In this type of game, we are going to do a set number of rolls and then try and score points out of each individual category. This one's probably one of the most popular category style games, although there were plenty others out there. This one is called Yacht Dice. Now I'm sure you're thinking, you mean Yahtzee? No, I do not. Yahtzee is a popularized version of Yacht Dice. Yacht Dice is the base game. So we're going to be playing Yacht Dice today. So if you're already familiar with the rules of Yahtzee, there's some slight changes. So what we're going to do is we have some categories to go through. And each of these is going to refer to a certain number of points. So our end goal, hence why the 4 5s really worked out well earlier. So I'll go ahead and get back to that example. This is a yacht. Out of the 5 you have, having all of them matching the same number. This is worth 50 points. It doesn't matter whether it's all 1s, all 2s, all 3s, or all 5s. It counts for 50 points. We also have what we're going to call straights. So this would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is 4 in a row sequentially, and notice this can mean 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. but it's any 4 sequentially in a row. That is a little straight is what we terminology on here. It's worth 30 points. Then we've got big straight. We add that 5th one in, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any of these combinations is going to be a big straight worth 40 points. We also have a full house. This is 3 of one set and 2 of another. So notice I have 3 4s and 2 5s. That would be a full house, and no matter the combination, it's going to be worth 25 points. Now remember how I got those 5s right out of the get-go. That would be 4 of a kind, which is, here's where it's a little tricky, the sum of those 4 die. So you want a high 4 of a kind. You'd rather the 5s and 6s rather than the 1s. But here's the trick of the category game. If you don't roll something and you're out of categories to do it, you miss out on those points. The idea is to have as many of these categories completely filled out with no zeros as possible. This is part of the issue. We do get a little bit of benefit here in that, see this choice right here? That is the sum of all dice. So let's say you had, I'll go ahead, 5, 5, 5, 6. Let's say your yacht's already filled in, 4 of a kind, you've got the full houses, you've got the 5s, you've got the 6s, you even got the big and little straights. Your choice here is the sum of all dice, which would be 20 because of the 4 5s and 6. So it's a rather simple counting game. You don't have to have a lot of advanced math for this one. It's just making the appropriate combinations in hands. Now the last ones are on the top, the sum of. So let's say over the case, I roll, let's see, I actually get a small straight right out of the gate, which is not bad. But let's say I have 2 2s and I am out of re-rolls. Get to that in a second. I would be able to take the sum of the 2 faces. These don't count. That would be 4. And I'm just gonna mark those in. So here's the way that yacht dice works. The player is gonna roll. Now, what do they got? We've got a 3, we've got 2 4s, and we've got 2 5s. So you can do one of the following things. You can keep the 3, the 4, and the 5, and all you need is a 2 or a 6. So as an example, I'm gonna go ahead and keep rolling here. You get 3 rolls for this. Now you've got that little straight. And you got 1 more shot, which you don't get, to roll either a 6 or a 1. So there's a lot of decisions that you can make. I believe that was 4 and 5. So we've got 2 pairs going in there. You could choose to put the 3 and the 4, pair of 4s back. You could choose to put this 1 in and you'd have 2 rolls to get a 4 or a 5, which if you don't get, then you have to choose what are you getting rid of. So are you gonna do the 2 4s for 8 points, the 2 5s for 10 points, the choice, which is the sum of all dice, which would be 10 plus 8, which is 18, 19? This is where the game comes into play. So we're gonna go ahead and just go through an entire game real quick. It's not that long of a game. This is a full house right out of the gate for player 1. And if, for me, a full house seems rather difficult. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark on my end that I rolled a full house. I can choose to, after 1 roll or 2, take that out of circulation and finish it up. So we'll move on to player 2. We also have a full house right out of the gate. This is actually some pretty good rolling. I promise you it won't be this easy the whole way. So notice 2 rolls and I've already gotten 2 of the categories off of the board. So we'll go, now we've got some decisions to make. 2, 3, 4, and a pair of 6s. I kind of want to go for the straights early on. So I need 1 or 5 for little straights. And I get it. I actually get both, so I can go straight for the big straight. I have no reason at this point, because I decided to go for a straight, to try for anything else. This is where luck comes into play when you're deciding what to do. Notice I rolled a 1 and a 5 there. If I had kept the 6s, that would have been no help to me, unless that third die that I'd picked up had been a 6. But kind of continuing on, we've got 3, 4, 5. We also have that same, got a pair triplet of 4s. I think I'll go for it. So now I got 2 more rolls. I need 4s. Really need 4s. Get it? And then one last shot. We'll see about this one. Hey, there it is. So that is my yacht, which is 50. So now the pressure's gonna definitely be on player 1 to make sure they get a yacht sometime before the end of the game, because otherwise that's 50 points that they don't get. All right, now let's see. 2s, 5s, 3, they've got the full house. Little straights. Let's go for the 2s. That's 3 2s. So this is where only the sum counts. That's 6. Now in some versions of the game, you want to, across the total of 1s through 6s, you have to have 63 points for a 35-point bonus. We're not going to do that this time, but that is one of the more common added rules here. We're just going for the total number. So now we've got 2s, 3, a 4, and a 6. I think I'm going to go for the 1 and 5, see if I can get the straights going on. Get the 1. Get one more chance for a 5. I don't get it, but I still get the little straight. And we move back. So notice how play moves very quickly. Let's see, 2s. Now that I've selected that pair of 2s, having 2s is really not that helpful to me. Little straights. So I'm going to keep the 1, the 2, and the 3. Do I want to risk it? Because I need a 4 more than anything else. And I want you to consider just basic probability. I have 2 die. So, oh, here's the 1. Each die has a 1 out of 6 probability. So hopefully that means 1 out of every 3 is going to be success for me. But if I don't get it, that's on me. So we're going to go for it. Give me a 4, please. Not helpful. Ooh. So now you got to decide what to do. So I've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 3, and a 5. I don't like either of that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to be wasting the choice, but it is sort of like our freebie. So that's 3, 6, 9, plus 5, so 14. We'll keep on going. 4, 5, 6. I actually don't hate that. I need a 3. Because I need the big straight still. Nope. So close. But this means I'm also probably going to use that sum. And for me, if I'm ahead, I'm okay with the fact that my choice is going to be higher than theirs. So that's 1 plus 2, 3, 7. So that's 7. And then that's 11. So that's 18. So all things being equal, I still netted 4 right there. That's not too bad. We'll keep on going. That's 5s. Doing a little better now. One more gets me a 4 of a kind, which I get. One more chance for a yacht. Nope, I don't get it. But it's the sum of those 4 die. That's 20. Notice for 4 of a kind, the highest you can get is 6 4 times, so that'd be 24. Not a bad outcome. Let's go ahead and do ones, I think. I've been burned on trying to get the straight so far, so one, give me at least one other one. Oh, nothing. So 2. And see how as the board fills up, it starts to get a little crowded. I've still got 5s to work with, so I'll keep these 2 5s. There you go, I like that. One more chance for a yacht. It landed on the 5 for a second. I swear someone can go back and look, but that's still 20, which is not too bad. Meanwhile, 4 5s right out of the gate. That's a 6, and that's a 1. So sum of 4 die, I'll do the same thing here. So notice how I've kind of matched up. I'm only actually behind by, if you consider this, you can actually kind of keep track of the math in your head. The more you learn keeping track a little bit faster. This is matched, this is matched. I'm behind by 10 here, but I'm ahead by 4 here. So it's a net of 6. The 5s is what matters here, and the second category will be later. So let's see what we're working with now. Full house, but I'll take the 1s. Usually if you get a pair of something and you get a triplicate of something, go for the triplicate. Cannot hurt. Nope. Well, I got 4. I will take that all day. So notice here, I've netted 2. So now we're starting to get pretty close to the end here. 4s are still available, so I'm still kind of going for that. Nope. Hey, I'm gonna take these 4 of a kinds because this is gonna be doing pretty well. That's 16 right there. So a lot of this also helps you work on your mental math as you're counting. Little straights, got 1, 2, 3. I need that 4. I really need the 4. Nope. I luck out. Very luck out. So now here's where, even though, whoop, 1 always drops. Hold on a second. That only happens 1 time. That's a miracle. I promise you, dice will fall. That is an integral part of the game. So we're back to player 2. Oh, well, the 4s are no help. The 1s are no help. Now you've got some decisions to make. The 2s, the 3s, and you can actually just choose to not keep any, re-roll, see what you get. And I get the big straight. So that works out perfectly. Now the pressure is significantly on the first player. We've got 3s, 4s, 6s, and the yacht left. And of course I'm rolling none of them. We'll keep the 3 and the 6. And keep. Yeah, that's probably not good for me. Ooh. I'm gonna have to take the 6s or the 4s. What do you do? Take the 8. And yes, this does typically mean that things get a little tight towards the end. 5s, let's go for that. Ooh. Now we'll keep it to 5s. Got 1 more. It works out only so much. But this game keeps going fairly quickly. Oof, do you go for the yacht? I either go for the yacht or I have nothing. So I have no choice. I have 0 here, so I'm no choice but to mark it. That probably means I'm losing this, but you know, there's only so much you can do here. So 2 6s, still 2 6s, still 2 6s. That's 12. All right, what do we got left? Goodness, I got 6s and yachts, so we'll keep the 6s. We'll keep the 6s. Not looking good for player 1 here. So notice how the game really starts to even up. Let's do the 2s first. Nope. Sometimes dice get stuck. All right, so notice how it'd be full house, or 3 5s would be great, but oh well. So now we're down to, I've got to get a yacht. I've got a chance. I need 2 5s. That is not 2 5s. I really need that to look out. Nope. So player 1's definitely losing this one, but let's finish out player 2's. Oop, wrong container. That's 3s. Nope. And nope. I can roll 4 5s all day apparently. So now let's kind of tally this up. Hold on one second. That's 10. 18, 38, 50, 100, 165, 179 versus 6, 9, 9 and 26 is 35, it's 25, 60, 110, 150, 200, 230. So, let's look at the math here real quick. Not having that yacht did not work well for player 1. So as we can tell here, even if that yacht had been rolled, it still actually would have been pretty darn close. So we are seeing that this yacht becomes important, but over the course, if they had rolled really high in these categories and gotten a slightly higher choice, it could have been closer. There's a chance. But as a basic category game, this teaches you the concept of how to play certain elements of the game and look for the right opportunity. There's other types of games I want to show you. So, one second, I've got a whole lot of history on the development of dice types of games and the dice itself. It goes back. It goes way, way back. More on that in a second. So as I mentioned, this is one of the oldest gaming implements we have. Some of the first excavated bones were in around 5000 BC, and that's what they actually were. Little ankle bones off of hooved animals called taluses. Now, these did not have exact probability in the same way that we have on our modern 6-sided die, or even a D4, a 4-sided die, which is a little pyramid. These were about 40, 40, 10, 10 because of their odd shape. So the game that would be played would be these tokens, shells, any rocks that could be easily picked up, where you would toss into the air and land the talus on the back of your hand while grabbing as many of these little tokens as you could before it fell back down. If this starts to sound a little familiar to some of you, that's because this is the origination of the game of jacks, well before a rubber ball became an important element of the game. So dice diverge a lot from these taluses into other types of games. All right, so this next type of game is going to be what's called a lucky scoring game. So we are going to be depending on elements of chance here to determine how many points we will theoretically get. I have in front of me some tokens here. You'll see that they're actually chips. You can use anything, pennies, buttons, Cheerios, oyster crackers, whatever you like. I am bringing these in explicitly because they have numbers on them, so you can help keep track a little bit better, and so I can keep track a little bit better as well. But these will be tokens that we will award by having more even than odd. How does that work? Well, we're gonna do player 1, player 2, and we are gonna play until all of these tokens are gone, which means that we're netting something. So evens, once you roll, it's just a single roll over here, and odds over here. So that is 6 plus 6 plus 4, so that's 16. Over here, odd is going to be a subtracting. This is just knowing your evens and odds and then aggregating it together. So if you wanted to do it another way, this is net 1, net 2, and then this fifth die is what matters more. It's going to be a net of 6. So this first player will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm sure you're asking, what would have happened had this occurred? Well, this is where the element of chance comes in. If you had 6, you would have to pay back 1, 2, and 3. So it's a trade-off back and forth. So we'll go to the other person. And if you end up with not enough to be able to use, you will just not obtain any, especially if you're at a low number. But we have here 6, 4, so 10, 12 minus 4. So I'm sure you're thinking this game will go pretty quickly, right? Because that was 12 minus 4, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. But this also means that whenever it will be inevitable over the course of this game, you'll roll more odd than even. Now you're going to have something to pay back in. So we have here, this is actually pretty lucky rolling, but this is why it's called a lucky scoring game. So that's 6 on its own. So we'll take that out. So that's another net of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. This is another game that goes fairly quickly because notice we're already down 1 stack. This is where I also say, not so fast, my friends. You are going to have more odds this time. So this is 5, 10, 11, and 6. So that's a net of -5. So what you're gonna have to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back into the stack. This is where the game will develop over the course of time, where now you're going to continue rolling. And once again, this is a fairly quick game. This will be 10, that's going to be 6. So that amount that player 2 had to pay in, player 1 gets the benefit of. Whoop. And this is where the 1 roll really comes into play. So here's a really good roll for player 2 that gives them a chance to catch up. This 4 and this 3 and 1 actually cancel out, so it's a net of 12. So let's do some counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There we go. So I had 3, I now have 15. So you can have some really, really good rolls. And this will go back and forth until a winner is declared. So once again, even minus odd. This together cancels out, so that's a net of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is one of those you can have the tokens that you like. All right. So that's 8. This is also 8, so that cancels out. So from the get-go, once you actually get a little bit more of that mental math out, this game can go pretty quickly, just within the course of a couple of minutes, depending on how well you roll. Again, 6, 4, 4. That's 5 and 3, which is the same as the 4 and 4. That's 8. So now you've got these even stacks. Now it's going to be some costing again, I'm afraid. So that's 8, and that's 13, so that's paying back in 5. This will be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until inevitably you figure out who the winner is. So this is one of those games that you can have pretty quick gameplay, but a high replay value, because this is just basic math. This is a good, actually, teaching tool for teaching even versus odd. And as long as you use these small tokens, this one's pretty fairly simple to pick up. You can actually have really good rolls like this where it's all even. So that's 6, 4, 10, 14. So let's see here. That's 5. That's 10. Player 1's doing pretty well, because now you'll actually be able to, especially with tokens, usually see over the course of a game who is doing well. So that's a 6. That cancels out. So 8, 2, 4, and another 4. And as it begins to dwindle, this game will end. Oh, goodness. That almost might be game right there, actually. Rolling a full house of evens from the get-go. 12. Actually, let's do it like this. 10, 26. Does this have 26? 5, 10, 15, 20, 6. This leaves 8 tokens left. So you actually need, on this side, to not lose all 8 right there, which you may just end up doing, actually. 18 minus 8. Now, player 2 did net 8 there, but because player 1 had such good rolls, this added up quick. So notice that was a couple of minutes, and then this is a quick, easy reset of a game. Just make it 5 or so even stacks again, and you are well on your way to just playing another round, and another round, and another round, and another round. This is where, especially, these are great games for rainy days or bad conditions outside, where you know that you can just kind of stay in, do some things. And I promise you, there's even more types of games that I want to tell you about, but a little bit more about the history of die and dice games. 1 second. Next on our stop of development of dice is going to be Persia and the Middle East, the cradle of a whole lot of game development. We actually see excavated out of Egyptian tombs 20-sided die. For those of you who play games like Dungeons & Dragons, this is the first instance you're going to see it. So the D20 has been in long circulation. However, the Egyptian game of Senet, that we do not actually still have the original rules from, we just have a recreation and a guesstimate, similar to how we do for the royal game of Ur. Those involved little sticks that were D2s, so one side or other side, so think of heads or tails. That is commonly packaged with the Senet copies that have been excavated out of these tombs. So we see continued development to allow games of chance, games of probability, games of a little bit of luck, just in the way that as we go from 5000 BC to 2000 BC, this development continues, even though we still have some of the mainstays even to this day. More on that in a second. So another type of game to show you about. This is a counter kind of game. So notice I've got these 6 different bins. This one's called Zeppelin. And what you have here is we're gonna actually evenly distribute among the 2 players, roughly speaking. And again, you can use any type of tokens you wish, but each player is gonna start with a certain number of tokens. And they're gonna roll 1 die at a time. If there is no token in this 2 category, they've got to put a token there. The next player moves. There's nothing in the 4. There's nothing in the 5. You don't have to keep track of whose is whose. You have lost it at that point. 6. Here's where the game, to me, is interesting. Once it's in the 6, it's actually removed from the game. So your idea is to have tokens remaining at all. The first person to lose all of their tokens is eliminated from the game. They roll a 6. Lots of 6s today, apparently. 4. So now, notice how there's a token in the 4. They get a token back. Pay out into 3. Get the token from 2. Notice how this one's a very quick game where you're trying to keep from, whoop, there's 3, so at least they get 1 back. 3, have to pay 1 in. If that person had not luckily rolled a 3, they would have gotten that token. So this one will be a back and forth competition. So many 6s today. You start thinking there's a way to die. And back and forth, this will go to where eventually somebody will net enough tokens to continue on. This also works really well in 4, 5 player segments where somebody can luckily get a lot of these rolls. Because notice, relativistically speaking, somebody is getting back what they give in because of how quickly it goes back and forth. And you'll be able to, over the course of time, start to see somebody doing a little bit of winning and another person being able to do a little bit of losing. So, 5. Notice kind of over the course of time, we've lost, what, 8? So even though our stacks are relatively similar, because we've paid a certain amount out, there's less to go around. This is where the game will move eventually rather quickly, in that there starts being a certain, shall we say, economy. So we're gonna go ahead and speed this up a little bit, and I'll show you sort of the end game once we get there. Notice this board now is completely full, meaning the next roll that player 1 does, either they're losing a token or they're getting a token. They're losing a token. This person, all they have to do is not roll a 6. This is the day for rolling 6s, apparently. I'm gonna have to switch tokens at this point. So 1. So just for this moment, I'll kind of catch up the score here. Let's see, we've got 3 pretty even stacks. And we've only been doing this for a couple of minutes, but you can actually kind of see from this angle, technically player 1's in the lead, but notice how it's not by much. You've got 2 here, 1 here, so it's actually net 1 on this one, and it's actually tied. So right now, player 1's actually in the lead by only 1, but we've lost 11 in play of what we started with. So this is one of those games that Once you start to understand the categories, it moves fairly quickly because now you can have a lot of fun with categories and have more enjoyment out of the luck element. If you played this with a group of, notice I keep in like 5 stacks here. That actually gets you well on your way on a lot of games to being a fairly even, fairly quick, and fairly enjoyable kind of time. So that is much more of the counter style games. You can have plenty of versions of this where you can actually switch it up and have it to where 6 means that you gain one of the tokens. You could have it to where each has their own token. And this is a much faster version of the game where if you roll this, you get it. But if you roll a 6, you have to subtract or something akin. So the possibilities for a lot of these games are fairly endless, mostly because of how they've advanced among time. But that is at least these first 3 types of games teach you a lot of the basic concepts of math, categories, and a little bit of the probability that comes with a lot of these dice games. But more on that in a little bit. Let's advance a little further in time. We went from the Middle East. Now we're going to go to where else? The Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is where we see some of the first Roman-style die. We actually see not 1 but 2 different types of die developed during this time period, the tali and the tesserae. The tali only had 1, 3, 4, and 6, whereas the tesserae was, if you've heard the term tesseract, you're familiar with the cube shape. This is one of the most common originations, the earliest 6-sided die that I've seen that's more of our modern pip shape. We also see the terminology out of the Romans, the adum licere, which basically means to play at dice, to kind of refer to somebody who is a gambler. So we do see in a lot of this development the key aspects of what we know are die and tokens and probability much later on. Also, I do have to make mention to multiple literature scriptures, especially of religious nature, which do include the terminology of casting of lots. So that means even as far back as some of these religious scriptures, there had to be dice and probability built in. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out the rest of the YouTube playlist for other episodes of the Let's Play series, also airing on NECAT on channels 9 and 10. Be sure also to look out for some great other NPL Universe content, both on NECAT and on our YouTube page. I'll see you next time.